Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Welcome back into the Swank Tank, episode 10 of the 2025 NFL season. Welcome into the show. Man, do we have a good one for you today. Week 4 is upon us. It is Thursday morning, September 25th. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, or watching wherever you may be. Welcome into the Swank Tank. As you probably know, unless you're new, which would be great if you are, welcome in. We are an NFL-only show. That's all we talk about here on the Swank Tank. Only NFL, but all of the NFL. Bets, predictions, analysis, fantasy, injury updates, literally anything and everything. NFL, that is what the Swank Tank brings to you. I am your host, Ryan Swankowski. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening as always. Please make sure to go follow on the socials at the Swank Tank, everywhere and anywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, obviously Spotify. Twitter is rswankowski if you want to tap in there. Got some good Sunday, Monday, Thursday night NFL football content I'll be tweeting out. Really just appreciate you being here, listening to my voice, or watching me on YouTube, or both. You know what? If you are both watching and listening, doing both, I would love to hear from you. And maybe I need to come up with my own little way of showing appreciation. You know, other shows send things to people, special gifts or an item. Maybe I need one of those. Maybe I can get like a little toy swan or something like that to send out. That's going to be in the works. But I appreciate you being here. We have a great episode for you. Lions and Ravens review. What a game we had there. We're going to discuss it. We're going to go over that. After that, a full Week 4 preview. Every single game, starting with Thursday Night Football, Seahawks, Cardinals, all the way to the doubleheader on Monday Night Football, where one game is absolutely atrocious, Jets, Dolphins. And the other game could be interesting, Bengals and the Broncos. Welcome into Week 4. Welcome into episode 10. We got the Week 4 preview, every single game like I just mentioned, and my prediction for each of those games. We wrap it up with Swanks Banks and a little bit more of that as well. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. And without wasting any more time, let's actually touch back on Lions and Ravens first. All right, we have the Lions at Ravens on Monday Night Football. Lions win the game. Final score 38-30. Over smashed. Lions cover and win. Jared Goff, we start with the winners on the Swank Tank. Always and forever. Winning stat line goes first of the winning quarterback. Jared Goff, 20 of 28, 202 yards, 1 touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 21 of 27, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson was sacked 7 times in this game and almost cost me a big fantasy matchup. I was up 7, people, with Ravens defense. Ravens defense. In one league, this is a different league, but up 7 with Ravens defense, almost lost. In another league, I was up, oh man, what was I up in this one? 6 or 7. Oh no, I can't say that. Even though I was up 6 or 7. Had a buddy just at Lions defense. They alone got 7 sacks along with other points. And I beat him, I think, by 1 or 2. Due to the late Ravens touchdown. That was clutch. That was so dope. Lamar Jackson got sacked 7 times in this game. The Ravens offensive line is supposed to be a lot better than what they showed on Monday Night Football. I understand that Detroit defense has a lot of pieces and a lot of weapons. It starts with Aiden Hutchinson, obviously. But 7 sacks is unacceptable. It's hard to win a football game against that strong of a team on the offensive side of the ball, right? On the flip side of the ball. When you're alone or getting sacked 7 times. Oh, and also on your other side of the ball, speaking of the Ravens side, you can't stop the run to save your life. I mean, the Ravens' run defense has been nowhere to be found. I think they left it in the offseason. Maybe they left it in Cancun after the playoff loss last year. I think it's just sitting over there. Hey, Ravens defense, what's going on? It's nowhere to be found. Maybe we should put up a poster, a wanted poster for the Ravens' run defense or just defense in general. It is not there. It's gone. I don't know how much the reward is. Ravens fans, you tell me. Somebody needs to find it because it has been bad. Very, very bad. Derrick Henry, third straight game with a fumble. It's only been 3 weeks, and he's got 3 straight weeks with a fumble. He only had 3 fumbles all of last season. In 2024, he had 3 fumbles. Through 3 weeks in 2025, Derrick Henry has 3 fumbles. Interesting note there. He also only had 50 yards. He's had back-to-back weeks now of being held to very minimal yards. The Browns talked their talk and walked their walk in the run defense aspect of things. Derrick Henry in week 1 was unstoppable against Buffalo. Maybe that's just what he does against Buffalo always. Goes out there and just does whatever he wants to them. Stiff arms, trucks you over, whatever. These last 2 weeks, we have seen a different Derrick Henry. And I think it probably goes more to the offensive line, right? 7 sacks given up. Translate that over to Derrick Henry only having 50 rushing yards. I mean, it makes sense. If the Ravens want to win these type of high-level elite football games, Derrick Henry needs to do what he did in week 1. And I know they didn't win that game. They did not win that game. They should have won that game. They choked the lead away. But that's what the Ravens story has been choking leads away. This game was competitive for a long time. And then as the game progressed, the offensive line got worse. Derrick Henry was nowhere to be found besides fumbling the football. There's an L for you. There's an L. Great Lions win. Montgomery and Gibbs combined for 34 carries, 218 rush yards, and 4 touchdowns. Sonic and Knuckles, a little 1-2, a little pop. They went crazy. It was just like a Ben Johnson 2024 offense. I mean, Dan Campbell was dialing up some majestic, beautiful play calls. It was the 2024 Lions is what I saw out there, which is a great thing to see because 2024 Lions could have won the Super Bowl, in all honesty. Ravens defense, they are 30th in the NFL in rush yards allowed per game with 149. It just can't happen. It can't happen. The Ravens are too elite. They're too elite on the defensive side of the ball as well, especially in the secondary. Van Noy, I believe, was injured here. Matabuke did not play. Matabuke will not play this coming week as well against the Chiefs. Glaring issue there. When your run defense is bottom 3 and your best defensive tackle is out, not good. Not good. Dan Campbell masterclass here, sneaky play calls. I mean, he just has the big kahunas. That's who Dan Campbell is. He's got the big kahunas. People, I mean, this is not news, but it has to be talked about. 4th down with the lead to ice the game out. What do? You try to get the first down. How? How do you do it? Usually you probably give it to either Gibbs or Montgomery for, 2-yard gain and say, I can take these 2 yards. I'm going to run it down your throat and want to win this damn game. Or you take a 20-yard shot downfield, have it completed, and then have Montgomery, I believe it was the very next play, go and run for a touchdown to completely ice it. That is Dan Campbell. That is the Detroit Lions, and he will live and die by that always. And in this game, as it does most times, it worked. Dan. Big kahuna Dan. Continuing to show that the Lions are elite. They are elite. Got to give them credit. Ravens continue to struggle when the lights are brightest. Lions have proven they can still win the NFC. They are there to win the NFC. They can compete with teams like the Eagles and the Packers. And I know the Packers gave them the work week 1, but it's the NFL. Anybody can beat anybody, right? And the Lions are continuing to show that they are still an elite team to not be messed with. So Ravens need to play better on both fronts, offensive line and defensive line. I know they had some injuries on the defensive line and the defense with Van Noy, Matabuke. The offensive line's got to be playing better. I mean, that's really what this boils down to. The O-line's got to play better. O-line plays better, less sacks. Less sacks, so more can scramble. Also, O-line plays better, Derrick Henry, bigger holes. Adios to the crib. Stiff arm, he's gone. The Ravens on both fronts need to play better. Give the Lions their flowers. Dan Campbell showed the kahunas, showed the trickery. Worked great. Lions win 38-30, and they are still very much elite. That was our Lions at Ravens review. What a great game that was for Monday Night Football. The ones this week were a little bit different. And speaking of this week, week 4 is here and upon us. Is your team winless? Mine is. That's besides the point. We'll get to that game here a little bit later in the show. But welcome into week 4, ladies and gentlemen. Already amazing that it's week 4. We have our first European game. That's when you know the season is finally getting into its groove. So when you have your first abroad European game, really. Because usually, season starts in Brazil and whatnot now. That's whatever. But when you start traveling to London and Dublin and those types of places, the season's starting to catch on a little bit, trying to getting in their groove. You're no longer in the very, very early stages of the season. We have our first Dublin game. We're going to talk about that here in a sec. Have to start this big old week 4 segment by stating we went 11-5 again last week in week 3 on straight up picks. Our record moves to 32-16 on the season. That is beautiful. That is 2/3. That is .6666667. It's gorgeous. Oh God, I did it again. I did it again. 32-16. Though we take that on straight up winners. 11-5 in week 3. I had the Ravens. Didn't go well, but we moved to 32-16 on the season in straight up picks. Moving on and moving forward and looking at the first game of week 4, Thursday night football, and it's a good one. Seahawks 2-1 at Cardinals, who are also 2-1. And man, this is a tough game. Tough game to predict here. Seahawks are obviously coming off of a blowout win against the Saints, which I predicted. So got to give a little pat on the back when necessary. But absolutely demolished, crushed. Whatever word you want to throw in there for blowing up or destroying, go ahead and insert. Huge win for them against the Saints. Cardinals off a hard loss here to the 49ers. Also a hard loss. James Conner may be out for season, if not out for a majority of the season. Benson is up, ready to go, and ready for the carries. Prayers, James Conner. Hopefully he heals fast. What a great player. What a great human being. Hopefully he heals fast. But Cardinals, tough loss to the Niners. A buzzer beater. Again, the Cardinals can never close the door. Seemingly so. They can never do it. And this is the 4th straight week I've mentioned it because it's been true every week. Even in their wins, they can't fully close the door. They leave it open. And to good teams, they will come back and beat you. And that is what happened. Seattle has had trouble guarding tight ends all season long. I believe they're 3rd most in the NFL, or tight ends in fantasy are averaging the 3rd most points against the Seahawks so far this year through 3 weeks. Outside of that, though, Seahawks defense has been very strong overall. Getting to the quarterback, applying pressure. Secondary's played well. I mean, the defense has looked overall very solid. Yeah, they're giving up points to tight ends, whatever. That's whatever. The defense is really helping them win games. That is a fact. They're playing well. They're flying around. They look good. Maserati Marv, my boy. Money Marv. What do you call Marvin Harrison Jr.? Maserati Marv. Why am I saying Maz? Oh my gosh. Now, guys, I can't even talk now. Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's just call him that for now. Has been catching a lot of slack lately. A lot of slack. Is it warranted? Kind of. He's dropped a lot of open passes. Where is he looking? Did you guys see that screenshot of him last week looking up into the sky? Completely lost. If that 2-second pause was me looking around, by the way, if you're not watching on YouTube. Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to get this figured out. Him and Brian Thomas Jr. are trying to have a mid-off. No, they're trying to have worse than a mid-off. They're trying to see who can be the bigger bust in year 2. That's what's happening right now between Marvin Harrison Jr. and Brian Thomas Jr. Maybe it's a junior curse. Interesting. Maserati Marv. Maserati. That's it. Maserati Marv. This is a prime spot to me for the Cardinals to bounce back. Tough loss last week. You lose James Conner. Maybe they're feeling a little deflated. Marvin Harrison's getting some slack, or catching a lot of flack, I should say. Zach Charbonnet, other side of the ball for the Seattle. questionable to play. I think he'll suit up. We'll have to see, though. We'll have to see. Cardinals have only turned the ball over once through 3 weeks and have created, on the flip side, 3 turnovers on defense, plus 2 turnover differential there. Give me Sam Darnold here, who played well last week, to have 2 interceptions. Give me Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison to both play very solid. And give me the Cardinals to win this game. That is my prediction. It is my first prediction for Week 4. It is an upset for Week 4. Cardinals are not favored in their own building. Seattle is favored here. Give me the Cardinals. Give me them. This is a perfect bounce back spot for Seattle at home, Thursday Night Football, to show that although they can maybe not and haven't yet closed the door, that doesn't mean they can't do it. They haven't. Doesn't mean that they cannot. I like McBride in this spot a lot. He should find some room for success here. I like Marv to pick things up a little bit. I like Kyler to do his thing, a little bit of scrambling, a little bit of trickery, a little bit of dumb plays, but that's just Kyler. Benson is a solid player. Give me a really close, gritty NFC West game here, but Seattle being at home, I like Seattle. Or excuse me. Scratch that. I like the Cardinals here. I like the Cardinals are at home. They're underdogs in their own building. Give me the Cardinals to get this win and beat Seattle. Give me Darnold to get picked off. Give me the Cards. Give me the Cards to move to 3-1. First game on Sunday, moving along. Vikings, the 2-1 Vikings versus the 2-1 Steelers over there in Dublin, Ireland. 8:30 a.m. kickoff. By the way, your Pittsburgh Steelers are first in the AFC North. Would you have believed me if I said after Week 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers are first in the AFC North? Think about that for a second. I wouldn't have believed myself, probably. It's only 3 weeks, Swank. What are you talking about? Oh, whatever. I mean, we both probably thought both the Bengals and the Ravens would be leading this division through 3 weeks. And they are not. They're not. The Bengals are 2-1, similar to the Steelers, but the Steelers have the division break, AFC break, tie break, whatever it is at this point. Maybe division win. I don't even know. But they're first. They're first. 8:30 a.m. kick. Are you getting up for this game? I might be. My birthday is on Saturday. So, might be a little bit of a late night. We'll see if I make it up for this game. I probably won't. Maybe I'll catch the second half. These games, though, abroad, in Europe, wherever they are so hard to predict, always. You never know what these teams, even though they've been there for several days already, they're jet lagged, and it's just a completely different environment. Obviously, no team is at home. You're so far away from America. It's just these games are so weird and hard to predict. Both of these teams are coming off big wins, and both defenses in those wins played phenomenal last week. Steelers, I believe, caused 4 turnovers against the Patriots, and I believe the Vikings defense caused 5 against the Bengals. I mean, they combined for 9 turnovers total, I believe. Both defenses were flying around the field last week. Let's see if they can give a nice little show in Dublin. Dublin, Ireland. Went there last summer, by the way. Amazing. Incredible. One of my favorite trips I've ever been on. So awesome. Actually, not last summer. The year before that. Incredible trip. But, encompassing this all, these games are really hard to predict. And I think these Ireland and these Europe games, to me, are usually messy, a little bit sloppy, and pretty much low scoring. I think this is going to be a pretty regular football game. No fireworks, no madness. Give me a standard, straight-up football game with a little bit of slow tempo, a little bit of mess, a little bit of low scoring, and give me the Vikings here in an odd and European game. I mean, that's really about it. There's not much else to go into. Both defenses played great last week. Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers, both offenses didn't look great last week. They didn't really have to, though, given their defensive play. Kind of a coin flip. Give me Minnesota. That's really how I got here. Moving into the noon slate on Sunday. Commanders 2-1 at Falcons 1-2. Mariota, revenge game again is the question here. Will we see Jaden Daniels? At this point, I do not know. On Thursday morning, I'm recording this early Thursday morning, I do not know if Daniels is going to play. He says he feels good. He says he thinks he's ready to play. Does that mean Gruden and the doctors are going to let him play? I cannot believe I just said John Gruden. Wow. Gruden has not been there for so long. That was a crazy pull. Will Dan Quinn let him play along with the team doctors? I don't know. Personally, I think they're going to keep him out one more game. He could play in this game. He may play in this game. If I'm the Commanders, I sit him one more game. Just so you know, next week he's going to be fully healthy, no question marks, full participant in practice, no stories around him, no risk of further injury. Get him fully healthy. Don't rush your franchise guy back too fast. I think Mariota gets to start here one last time. And Daniels gets it back. That being said, Daniels could play. A lot depends and falls on that. Regardless, I'm taking Atlanta. Give me the Falcons here at home. Of all the games this week, there's not many upsets I pick. A little spoiler. There's a few, though. Cardinals was an upset to start. Kind of. Give me the Falcons here in an upset win over the Commanders. Classic NFC battle. Commanders have looked, good against the Giants and against the Raiders, but they got worked against Green Bay. Again, you play the teams in front of you. You don't create your own schedule. To me, the Commanders are still unproven, and especially if Mariota's at the helm, Falcons have a big chance here to get a W, which they desperately need. Desperately. Penix needs some confidence back. Bijan needs more touches. The offense has got to get rolling. The offense is too talented, too strong of a core to be getting shut out by the damn Carolina Panthers. It's unacceptable. And it falls mainly on Penix. Turnover-wise, accuracy-wise, he has to play better. We need to see that Washington Husky Penix this Sunday. And there's a chance we may. Falcons out at home here. James Pierce Jr. hopefully back for them. Commanders are giving up 330 yards a game, by the way, and Falcons are only second in the league, giving up 227. Falcons get the upset here. That's my pick. Give me Penix to play well. Give me Bijan to have a good game. Just a little bit of unknown with the Commanders, given Daniel's injury, given who they've played so far. Give me Atlanta to bounce back here in a big way. Close game. Give me the Falcons. Good upset here. Now we shift over to a game that does not need too much coverage or too much talk, but every game deserves their own flowers because in the NFL, every game matters, and a win is a win. So we got some good bullet points here, good things to talk about. But we got the 0-3 Saints traveling to Buffalo. Yikes. To take on the 3-0 Bills. Let's just keep this simple. I'm picking the New Orleans Saints. No. Did you think? No. No, I'm not picking the Saints here, people. It's not happening. I don't think it's happening the rest of the year. I think I picked them week 2. I think it was to win. And just did not happen. Give me the Bills here. At home, they're currently minus 15.5. The Buffalo Bills are 15.5 point favorites in Buffalo against the 0-3 New Orleans Saints. Woof. That is a huge line. Biggest line of the year by far. So far, to this extent. And this is the NFL. A 15.5 point spread. It's hard to stay away from Saints to cover that. Very hard. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care how good the Buffalo Bills are. A 15.5 point spread is ridiculous. That is nuts. Is it in Swank Banks? We'll have to see. At the end of the episode. Biggest line of the year for sure. There's just no juice is the issue here with the New Orleans Saints. Olave has been getting a lot of targets, yet not a lot of catches. Kamara is top 15 in both rush yards and carries, yet the Saints have to throw the ball an ungodly amount because they find themselves down in every single game. Have they led at any point this year? I don't even know. I know they didn't lead for 1 second in the Seattle game. There's really not much else to touch on here. Oliver and Milano still didn't practice Wednesday for the Bills. It shouldn't matter much. The Bills played well against Miami. Their defense with those 2 key players out didn't look great. It's not going to matter. Give me Buffalo. Buffalo wins this game. The spread is really interesting. Just give me Buffalo to win. We're going to keep that one simple. I'm sorry, Saints fans. That's just... Rolling on here. Browns, the 1-2 Browns. Remember, they got that huge win last week against Green Bay. Game-winning field goal. The Joe Flacco, getting it done against Green Bay, against Mr. Jordan Love. Josh Jacobs, LaFleur, what are you doing? You're choking. Browns 1-2 at the 2-1 Lions, who feel red hot. They feel red hot right now. Let's start with the Browns, though. Browns' run defense has been fantastic. Only gave up 10 points overall as well to the Green Bay Packers. They're first in the NFL in yards per game given up with just 204. They're best in the NFL, like I mentioned, in rush yards per game given up. Yet on the road, it's a little bit different for them. They gave up 41 to the Ravens. I mean, I'm not saying that's some big surprise, some big shock. But in their 2 games at home, their defense has been great. On their 1 game on the road, at Baltimore, albeit, they gave up 41. The run defense was still great. Don't get me wrong. But they gave up 41 on the road. Now you go and face a team that just beat the Ravens with a equally dangerous offense. Jared Goff, St. Brown, Williams, Laporta, Montgomery, Gibbs. I mean, it's freaking loaded. A top 5 loaded offense. You go on the road now to face them in their own building after they just beat the Lamar Jackson-led Ravens. We will see. We will see. That defense has been great for the Browns all year outside of that Ravens game. Very much impressive. Great win against Green Bay. Going to be tough here for Cleveland. Lions coming off that huge win versus the Ravens, and they ran all over them. We already touched on the Ravens' defensive line, not getting the push they need to with Matabuke being out, Van Noy being out, not being able to stop the run whatsoever. Montgomery and Gibbs lit them up. Now they go to face the best run defense in the NFL by a decent margin. I mean, the Browns' run defense, led by Myles Garrett, has been very impressive. Very, very impressive. That is the dynamic matchup here. Gibbs and Montgomery versus Myles Garrett and that defensive line. I mean, that's the main storyline. Overall, though, give me Jared Goff here to play very solid. As long as the Lions don't turn this ball over like 3+ times, this game won't be very, very close. Give me the Lions here to win. Give me the Lions. I mean, back-to-back games here where the winner seems simple. Bills before this one and Lions here at home. Just give me Detroit. As long as the Lions don't turn the ball over several times and be absolutely ridiculously stupid, which I do not expect them to be, the Lions win this game. They move to 3-1. Give me Detroit. Pretty simple one there, back-to-back. Another one that is not so simple here, but it's more interesting, but still not a lot of touch points. Panthers, the 1-2 Panthers, traveling to the 1-2 New England Patriots. It's going to be a very good game. Very, very, very good game. Between 2 teams that are both looking for a much-needed win to move to 500. Going to be a good one here. Panthers coming off a huge defensive win, not allowing the Falcons to score a single point. They win 30-0. Patriots coming off a hard loss to Pittsburgh with lots of turnovers. Drake May, you know I love Drake May. I absolutely love Drake May. This is a good spot for him. I understand the Panthers' defense played really, really strong and well last week. Before that, through those other 2 games, the secondary for the Panthers was playing no bueno. No good. It's a good spot for Drake May. Similar vibe to the Miami game they had week 2. Drake May here, I think, shines. I think he does. Tet, though, other side of the ball. Tet McMillan and the Carolina Panthers. Tet is a little shaken up. He's got a calf injury. I believe he was limited in practice on Wednesday. We'll see if he's a full go. I think he'll probably play. To what degree? Not sure. Patriots, by the way, second in the NFL in rush yards per game, given up with only 181 total. Not bad at all. Very, very strong. 181 total rush yards given up by the New England Patriots this year. Kudos. That deserves some cred. Give the Pats a little cred there. Good for them. Good for them. Good to see the run defense looking good over there. Give me Drake May to play well. Give me, this is a big point, Trevion Henderson, the rookie, the Ohio State rookie. I believe 2nd-round pick this past draft. I believe. A lot of hype in the preseason. Big-time playmaking skill set. Can catch the ball. Have you seen his run chart? I believe last week, every single carry he took, every single one of them, went to the left side of the offensive line. He did not run to the right side of the field once. I have no idea what that's fully about. Maybe the Patriots just trust their left side of the line better. Henderson will have an advanced role in this game. He absolutely will. And it's a good spot for him. It's a nice spot for Henderson. Stevenson, fumbled twice. Get his ass to the second or third spot on the depth chart. Okay, you bring up Antonio Gibson. He also fumbled. This is nothing new with New England. Henderson deserves more reps. He deserves to be RB1. I think you see that more this game. Given that, I think there's a lot of value here. In Henderson, people are a little bit off of him, given the Patriots' lack of success overall on offense so far, a cumulative of 3 weeks, and him being behind Stevenson and Gibson in carries and touches. Give me Henderson here to have a solid game. Give me Drake May to play really well, and give me the Patriots to get a W here in Week 4. I understand the Panthers have a little bit of momentum. I just think their defense overall as a unit is not strong enough. And the question mark with Tet worries me. This game also being in New England plays a little bit of a factor. Give me Drake May to play well. Give me the New England Patriots to move to 2-2. I got the Patriots winning this one. Let's shift over now to a very, very interesting and intriguing game. The 3-0 LA Chargers traveling to the 0-3 New York Giants. I mean, the biggest thing here, obviously, and the really only main factor here that plays a big role in the outcome of this game, and maybe people not instantly picking the Chargers to win this game, even though probably most are. Jackson Dart, the rookie, the first-round pick out of Ole Miss, will make his first start here at home against the 3-0 and hot and steaming LA Chargers. That's what this game is all about. To me, Jackson Dart will provide some spark to a team that is struggling tremendously on the offensive side of the ball. Neighbors last week, only 2 catches. You take away that game against Dallas for the New York Giants, where Russell Wilson, Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, everybody had a good game. I mean, that Dallas defense is awful. It's terrible. It's bottom 3, accumulatively, in the league. It's terrible. Take away that game. So the other 2 games, the offense has been horrendous, like really bad. And Jackson Dart gets to start now, so things are different. Neighbors last week only had 2 catches. Do the Giants stand even the slightest chance if Neighbors catches two balls again in this game? No way. Neighbors to me has to catch 8+, maybe 10+, for the Giants to have a chance here. Let's see if Dart can get him the ball and get him involved early. Tyron Tracy, also, he's out with an injury, which hinders his offense even more. Cam Scatterbo was getting the work. Arizona State rookie running back there was getting more work each week, as we've seen. And so it was kind of due. He was kind of due anyways to take over the role with Tracy out. Hopefully he gets healthy, but Scatterbo now pushed up into the full RB1 position. Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, and Malik Neighbors with a little bit of Wan'Dale Robinson. Can they, at home, get their first win of the season against the LA Chargers? Chargers defense has been very solid all around this year. I expect the Giants to try and get Scatterbo involved in both the running and passing game, which to me won't go great. Last week, he led the team in receptions and reception yards against the Chiefs. Not a good formula for success whatsoever. I think they're going to try to get him involved in a big way. That is a good formula to get him involved. Great. If he's your leading receiver via yards and catches, not good. You're doing something wrong. Malik Neighbors needs to be leading this team week in and week out in targets, receptions, and yards. It's super simple. And if not, Wan'Dale Robinson needs more volume. Comes down to the quarterback play, obviously. And Giants now believe Jackson Dart can maybe be that guy. So we'll see. Give me the Giants here to hang around for a little bit due to their solid defensive line against a Najee Harris-less Charger team. So little hinder there to the Chargers run game. Giants defensive line has some good run stoppers, some good pass rushers. I think that's a little bit of a factor here in this game. That, and purely because Jackson Dart excitement and spark, I like the Giants to keep this game close in their building. But the Chargers will prevail and move to 4-0. You got to pick the Chargers here. Herbert's playing at an elite level. Madison Beer's got this man feeling different. He looks different. Not like physically, but as a football player, he looks different. He's acting different. He's dressing different. He's slinging that ball different. I mean, he's got that swag to him. You could see he's got that little swag to him. And he's got that confidence. Harbaugh's got these guys rolling. There's no way they drop this game. This game could be close. Give them the spark. There's no way they drop this game. Give me the Chargers move to 4-0. Giants move to 0-4. Moving on here to potentially the game of the weekend. The 3-0 Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the 3-0 Bucks. I heard somewhere this game was going to be super hot. Is it going to be really hot in Tampa? I don't know. May have to check that out later. But how was this a noon game? I mean, Eagles-Rams last week, noon game. Eagles-Bucks this week, noon game. This game at least should be a 3 o'clock game. At least. But I digress. Eagles at Bucks in the noon slate, I will not complain. This is going to be a great game. Eagles here are minus 3.5 point favorites on the road at the 3-0 Bucks, undefeated Bucks. Bucks coming off a dramatic victory, but Mike Evans out a few weeks due to a hamstring injury. I believe this is his 7th straight year with a hammy injury. Oh, Money Mike. He's so damn good. Consistent 1,000-yard guy. Money Mike goes down, but good news, Bucks fans. Chris Godwin, he's back. He returns. Been a full participant in practice. He's going to go. He's going to be playing. And you lose Mike, which hurts, but you get Godwin back, which is great. I think it's going to take, obviously, a little bit of time for him, given that gruesome, I believe it was Achilles injury last year, to come back from. It's going to take him 2 or 3 games, really get in the flow of things, I think. But at least you got him back. Him and Egbuka are going to be electric. And then 3 or 4 weeks when you get Mike back, cinema. We all know the cinema meme. Cinema. So at least they get Godwin back here. Cansey, though, out for season for the Bucs defensive side of the ball. Defensive tackle Logan Hall could also miss this game. Big factor there as well. Bucs are a little dinged up. They've been taking some heavy hits. They've been hitting these buzzer beaters, taking a lot of energy out of them. In all honesty, I think they come out a little flat this game. I think they come out with a little bit less gas than usual. The Mike injury, a few other injuries, I think gets them a little depleted. Eagles, other side of the ball. Other side of the coin, I should say. Great comeback win against the LA Rams. They always find a way to get it done. Hurts through the air looked great. A.J. Brown had his best game of the season. Devontae Smith had a touchdown. Goddard was healthy. He caught a touchdown. Barkley hasn't even had to do much this year so far for the Eagles, and they're still unbeaten. Philly's hot. Both these teams are obviously hot. They're unbeatens. Philly, they're going to carry that momentum here off the block field goal and the win against the Rams. Give me the Eagles to keep on rolling. I think the Eagles are too good and they're too experienced to give up a buzzer beater here to the Buccaneers, which the Bucs have had in all 3 of their wins, 3 straight wins. They're too experienced. And while the Bucs have really had the Eagles' number over the past several times they've played, over the past 5-6 years, the Bucs have kind of dominated and controlled them. Give me the Eagles here. They're minus 3.5 for a reason. They're a more complete team. I think the Bucs are a little flat this game. Come out a little slow, a little sluggish. Godwin needs to get ramped up into real game time play. Give me the Eagles pretty big here. I think it's still going to be a solid game. Great matchup. I like the Eagles. And I really like the Eagles maybe by at least a touchdown. Fly, Eagles, fly. Philly gets the win here. Last noon game of the slate, I believe, unless Colts at Rams is a noon game. But I don't think that is. Titans at Texans. So we go from 3-0 Bucks and 3-0 Eagles to 0-3 Titans and 0-3 Texans. Yippee. Can this game be flexed to Monday morning at 4 a.m. so nobody has to burn their eyes out watching this game? What a crap fest. But somebody has to not lose. I can't even say somebody has to win because given these 2 teams and given how they've been playing, Lord knows there could be a tie. One of these teams has to not lose. Maybe how funny would they be if they both don't lose? And this game ties. Wonder what the betting odds are for this game to be a tie. Might have to look into that. 0-3 versus 0-3 in Houston. I mean, what is this? This is the lowest over-under of the entire weekend with just 38.5 points. And usually when I see an over-under this low, I take the over. I'm not taking that this week. Both of these teams lack so many things. Not only do they lack identity, they're lacking pure leadership. They're all over the place. The Texans' defense is obviously better than the Titans' defense, but both offenses suck. Cam Ward's still figuring things out as he should. He's going to be a great player, given the reps and given the time in the league. Both these offenses right now are completely all over the place. Unorganized, disoriented, no identity. It's terrible. It's really hard to watch. And maybe them going up against each other will make this more fun to watch. I highly doubt that, though. Last year, the Titans went into NRG Stadium and beat the Texans, and the Texans last year were actually competent. This year, they're just flat out awful. Through 3 weeks, their offense is atrocious, horrific. Throw whatever word you want in there. If this was literally any other team, any other team the Texans were playing, I would take the opposing team. Yet it is the Tennessee Titans. So I have to take the Texans here. And it's just, they keep biting me week after week. If this was any other NFL team, it could be the Giants, it could be the Saints, I'd be picking that team to beat the Houston Texans. Given this game's in Houston, given that the Titans on both sides of the ball are just god-awful at this very moment, given that Brian Callahan is in the midst of losing his job, each and every day becomes closer and closer, I got to take the Texans just because it's Tennessee. That's it. And the Texans, and especially by me, have been getting smothered by media with their performance, as they should. It's been god-awful, hard to watch, terrible football. There's no cohesion. There's no leadership. They released C.J. Gardner-Johnson. DeMeco Ryan says that was his call. It's his team. He can do what he wants. C.J. seemingly was not a locker room guy. You got Stroud wearing hats of opposing MLB teams that fans aren't liking to see in Houston right now, given the Astros are amidst a playoff hunt. A lot of weird things going on in Houston. In Tennessee, it's just bad football. What a crapshoot this is. Nico. Give me Nico, though. They have a big game against L'Jarius Sneed. I don't know if you saw yesterday on Wednesday. Sneed goes, who? When asked about Nico Collins, Nico heard that noise, and he said he likes to prove it on the field. He said to bring that shit. That's what he said. Nico Collins, ladies and gentlemen, inbound for a big game. That's part of the reason I'm picking Houston here. But if I'm wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm basically off Houston the rest of the way. When they play the Baltimore, and I believe it's in 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to get their freaking ass handed to them. But it's the NFL. We'll take it week by week. Give me the Texans here. There's a chance I definitely regret this. If it was any other team, I wouldn't be taking them. Give me the Texans to get their first win. Crappy game. Just crappy game. Yuck. Now we move into the 3 o'clock slate. We have the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts, Indiana Jones, at the 2-1 LA Rams. Highest over-under of the entire weekend, by the way, with 50.5. Saw this, had to bring it up. Why is this the highest over-under of the whole weekend? Colts, Rams. Did I miss something? Both these defenses have been playing at a top 10 level, if not top 5. The Rams has definitely been playing at a top 5 level overall. We'll see if the under is in Swank's banks. It is. That's a little blooper, or not even a blooper. A little sneak peek for you. It is. I have the under in this game in Swank's banks. 50.5. Had to bring that to everybody's attention. Great game here. Best game of the 3 o'clock slate. One of the best games of the weekend. The Rams, all around, look so solid and so strong. Last week, they just couldn't finish. Couldn't get it done, which is very unlike McVay, very unlike Stafford, to lose one of those games where they have that 16-point lead that they had, I believe. And while the Colts continue to prove everyone wrong, I like the Rams here. I like the Rams at home. Jonathan Taylor, though, going back to the Colts, looks fantastic. Right now, there's conversation for him to be Offensive Player of the Year. I think he's leading that race, maybe at the moment. Him and, of course, Lamar and Josh. But given the running back performances so far this year, he's leading it by a mile. Taylor looks fantastic. Jones is playing very, very clean and organized football. Their defense has 5 takeaways while the offense has yet to turn the ball over. Did you know that? The Indianapolis Colts, so far this year, have punted 1 time, they've turned the ball over 0 times, and they have, on defense, created 5 turnovers. It can't get much better than that. It really cannot. The Colts have been the cleanest, most organized, most disciplined team in the NFL through 3 weeks. Can they keep it rolling here? It's going to be tough. On the road, against a team that just blew a big lead to one of the best teams in football, to a team that's got a top 5 elite defense with Jared Verse and other weapons over there, with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua playing at an elite level, Kyron Williams being a top 10 back, Devontae Adams being a great wide receiver too. It's going to be hard for the Colts to win this game, even with how they're playing. You got to give them the credit because they've been very, very impressive. Yet the Rams' defense has been great against the run this year as well. 309 total yards given up. Jonathan Taylor may still get some of his own, but the Rams, again, have been strong in the run defense. They're also first in the NFL in sacks defensively. Rams' defense here is too strong. It's going to be a great game. Give me the under. Give me the Rams. I do not think it's a nail-biter. I do think McVay will bounce back. While this game will be competitive, it will be relatively close. It's not going to come down to the very, very wire for me here. I like the Rams. Give me the Rams to bounce back from their loss against the Eagles. Give them that defense to really secure that win for them. Rolling on forward here, the 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the San Francisco 49ers, who are 3-0 and are unbeaten. Another good one here. I think the Jags can. They can most definitely win this game. With the way their defense has been playing, creating turnovers recently. Their defense held the Texans to 10 points, which it's the Texans. It's not saying that much. You can't take anything away from them, though. 10 points against any offense is fantastic. They're flying around. Jags have a little bit of pop to them. They easily could be 3-0. They lost that game to not the Jags, obviously. The Bengals, where they had a bad PI call and just kind of lost it at the end. The Jaguars could be 3-0. And while they're not a great team, they are scrappy. Got to give them a little bit of credit. Cohen's come in and give this team a new life, rejuvenation. Trevor Lawrence has looked fine. The offense, though, is what worries me here overall, and the fact that they still do not have an identity. They lack a true leader on that offense. You would think that'd be Lawrence or BTJ. Right now, both those guys are not playing at a high level. Brian Thomas especially continues to drop passes and is just struggling as a whole. Travis Etienne is getting some touches. The Jaguars' offense just is lacking a pop right now. Is lacking that full deep threat ability. Lacking that I can take the top off, take the roof off you if I wanted to ability. Which is what makes me slightly worried here. They don't have that identity on offense that we're going to get what we want whenever we want it. That's a hard thing to achieve in the NFL. In this game specifically, with the Jags specifically, it's why I'm not taking them to win, but I do think they can win. Given how their defense has been playing, given the momentum it feels like they have, they can win this game. But the 49ers defense has been solid, and Brock Purdy should be back. I believe he's going to suit up and play for the Niners here. Big blow, though. Bosa, as we know, is out, torn ACL. That's a huge loss. That helps the Jags a lot in this game. Give me a hard-fought battle with the 49ers barely squeaking it out. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Jags actually upset the 49ers and get this done. But I'm going to take the Niners at home with Brock Purdy coming back, even without Bosa. Give me the Jags to keep this really, really close, competitive game. They can win it. I don't think they quite get there, though. Give me the Niners to win. All right. What a matchup we have here in Week 4. If I would have told you both these teams were 1-2 going into this Week 4 matchup, you would have called me crazy, wild, insane, a loony, a lunatic. I'm none of those things, people. Both the Ravens and the Chiefs are 1-2. Ravens at Chiefs this week. What a matchup. What a matchup. You know it's going to be fireworks. You know it's going to be a classic. By the way, the Ravens are favored here by 2.5 points on the road at Arrowhead. They are favored. But their run defense That's what we start this off with, is just awful. It's terrible. Bottom 3 in the league. Madubuike is not going to be playing. Sheesh. Pacheco for the Kansas City Chiefs has the opportunity to be a huge impact player here. Given the reps he's had this year so far, he hasn't done squat with them. That's partially to do with the Chiefs' offensive line not being a cohesive unit. It's partially to do with Pacheco and the way he's been playing just in general. There is so much opportunity here for the Chiefs to succeed on the ground. Can they do it is the biggest question in this game. And they definitely can. Can they do it in this game? Madubuike being out provides a big opportunity for the Chiefs' run game. Chiefs are expected to also get Xavier Worthy back here. Defense looked solid against the Giants in a kind of a more bend-don't-break, right? Giants found themselves in the red zone towards the end of the game. Russell Wilson panicked, looked flustered, threw that shit out of the back of the end zone. No idea what he was doing. Chiefs defense had a bend-don't-break, giving up only 9 points. They looked pretty solid. You have them playing that way. You have Worthy coming back. You got them being dogs in their own building. I like the Chiefs here, people. I like the Chiefs here at home. Their 2 losses have been to 2 of the best teams in the NFL. The Ravens, though, on the flip side, basically same situation. I mean, the Ravens have lost to the Bills and the Lions. Chiefs have lost to the Chargers and the Eagles. These 2 teams are in a very similar spot. I mean, same record, have lost to really good teams, haven't lived up to full potential yet. I like this game to be very high scoring. I like Lamar to get his. I like Patrick to get his. Picking a winner here is very hard. So damn hard. I'm going to go with the Chiefs here to get the upset. Is that not crazy to you? I'm calling the Chiefs to get the upset. It's an upset because they're not favored in their own building in a 3 o'clock game. I'm taking the Chiefs here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take them. With Worthy expected back, with what I saw from the defense last week, with how the Ravens' run defense has been playing, and Madubuike is still out, big deal. Maybe Van Noy also. He might play. I'm not sure yet. I like Hunt to be used in this run game more. Give me Pacheco to be used in this run game more. I like the Chiefs here at home. And give me Andy Reid to get into his bag, to get his big-time playmakers, big-time plays, and big-time targets. Give me the Chiefs. Give me Mahomes at home here in a big win to put them back to 500 and to put the Ravens down to 1-3. I mean, this game's going to be fireworks. I think it's going to be high scoring. What a game we got here. Give me the Chiefs. Now we just have 4 games left on the slate. This one, though, one of the most interesting games of the entire weekend. It is the 1-2 Bears traveling to the 1-2 Las Vegas Raiders, the Death Star. The newer, I guess it's not that new anymore, but still pretty new. Las Vegas Stadium, high on my bucket list to still attend. I've only been to a little over a handful of NFL stadiums. Vegas is very high on my list to go to next. This game's intriguing because of how ugly I think it's going to be. The Bears have momentum, while the Raiders the exact opposite. Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Luther Burden all had phenomenal weeks last week. And they crushed the Dallas Cowboys, whose defense is just god-awful. We'll be talking about them next. And they have momentum now. Ben Johnson gets his first win as head coach. The defense looked to pick it up, even though Lamb got injured in the game against the Bears. But got to give credit. Bears defense stepped up, especially in the second half against the Cowboys offense. And they've got a little momentum going into this game. And they feel alive. And what I said last week, and I called it perfectly, was that the Bears love to dangle a little carrot in front of your face and give you just a little bit of hope. That's why I think this game is going to be messy. Because usually after that happens, the Bears kind of revert back to form. The Raiders, on the flip side, have looked very bad the past 2 weeks. Got a good win on the road against New England to start the year. Tough game against the Chargers. It was an expected L. Didn't look great. Commanders with Marcus Mariota in the game kind of put an ass kicking to the Raiders. And I don't know if Bowers is still fully healthy. And that offensive line just can't figure things out so far. Genty cannot get going yet. Given that offensive line, this is a spot where he could really get going. I just like this game to be messy. It's intriguing because it's messy. It's intriguing because I feel like a lot of unknown relatively in this game. I'm going to pick the Bears. But I think it's messy. I think it's sloppy, kind of a gross game to watch in Vegas. I like it to be pretty low scoring. The Raiders just all around are an incomplete team, and while they can compete with anyone, I say that every week, the Raiders can compete with anybody, in my opinion. The Bears have too many weapons working right now. You saw it last week. I like this game to be close. I like this game to be ugly. Give me the Bears win. As my good buddy Connor Burns would say, bear down. Give me the Bears. In a close one. In a messy, sloppy game. Give me the Bears. Moving forward here to the last Sunday game. Oh, boy. Micah Parsons has had this one on his calendar for a month now. The 2-1. That is right, 2-1. They lost to the Browns last week, people. Remember? The 2-1 Green Bay Packers traveling down south to the Dallas Cowboys, the 1-2 Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons makes his return to Dallas. Ladies and gentlemen, this Sunday Night Football game will be close for maybe a quarter. Maybe. And then it won't be. Green Bay, huge here. And I think a lot of people are probably with me, given what transpired last week in them choking, given Micah Parsons returning home, given Dallas now, especially without CeeDee Lamb, this will not be close. This is my blowout spot of the week. You know, each week now I'm kind of picking a game to kind of be a blowout. And I don't think the Bucs get blown out this week. I do think that the Eagles kind of give them the work, though, a little bit. This is a blowout game. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't state it simpler. This is a blowout game. No CeeDee Lamb and absolutely atrocious, god-awful Dallas secondary and Dallas defense as a whole unit is the main reason for the blowout here. Packers seemingly always have their number as well, and that doesn't, in my mind, change here whatsoever. Packers, 5th in the league in sacks, and have only given up 193 total rushing yards this season. I don't know what Dallas is going to do. They don't have CeeDee Lamb. The Packers have a very strong and phenomenal run defense. They have a great pass rush. I mean, it's George Pickens or bust, it feels like, this game. It's Jake Ferguson or bust. Expect them to have an absurd amount of volume. Give me Ferguson and Pickens to combine for like a 70% target share here. They're going to be down in this game. They're going to be throwing a lot. Williams is going to be getting stuffed. That run defense is too good. Dak might throw the ball 50 times in this game. In my personal opinion, this is a disaster, though. I think Green Bay gives them the work, and I think Green Bay wins by at least 10 plus, maybe 14 plus. Primetime game, Micah in his return. Dallas defense looks like crap. Coming in, Green Bay with a big chip on their shoulder. Give me Packers here, for sure. I'm not flinching here. Give me Green Bay to move to 3-1. Dallas to move to 1-3. We now move over to the Monday Night Football doubleheader. Just 2 more games to break down here for Week 4. We have the 0-3 Jets traveling to the 0-3 Dolphins. Okay. You know, it's like poker. You take the cards you're dealt, and we were dealt a absolute crap fest. We get Jets at Dolphins, and we get Texans Titans in the same week. All 4 of those teams are 0-3. Somebody's got to come out with a win, maybe, or at least a tie. Fields here, I don't think he's going to play. Again, he didn't play last week with a concussion. There hasn't been a big update on his injury status. I don't think he's going to play here again. Jets have been close, though, this season, with both the Bucs and the Steelers. They got blown out by the Bills. But I like how they've been staying close in certain games. Bucs and Steelers, they've been competitive. No Fields, though, is going to be tough here. Tyrod back at the helm, back in the starting quarterback position here. In what I believe will be a second straight start for him. I don't think Fields is going to suit up. I'm going to take the Dolphins, though, to get their first win in those sick unis. If you have not seen the uniforms Dolphins are wearing, got to go check them out. The all blacks with the cool neon colors, it's going to be dope. Sick unis. Man, if they lost, they'd be losing in style. which they very much could be. Very much could. This is going to be so ugly. Terrible. Just like almost, it's not unwatchable because they're both 0-3, so it makes it watchable. Pretty close to unwatchable, though. As close as it really gets. I believe this game is going to be really sloppy, too. Maybe behind the Chicago game in sloppiness, maybe equalness. Kind of pause there. Pause. In Miami, with the home field advantage, that's the big deal for me here. Where I think the Jets' defense is going to force a few kind of big turnovers. Tyrod doesn't give me enough faith. Give me Miami to give me the first one of the season. They're not going to go 0-17. At some point, they have to get a win. And while they're at home, Monday Night Football, in those cool uniforms, cannot believe I'm using uniforms as an analysis point here. Give me Miami. Give me Miami to get their first one of the season. That's really all I got here. I think Tyrod's going to start. I think the Jets defense gets some turnovers, but Miami is going to get a win at some point. I think they could get it here. Wrapping up the Week 4 slate. Last game of the Week 4 slate here. Bengals. Monday Night Football. 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the 1-2 Denver Broncos. And I'm just going to straight up say it. I like Denver a lot here in this position. A lot. Prime time at Mile High is a very hard place to play. Browning will have multiple turnovers in this game, is my prediction. And Chase Brown really won't be able to run the ball that well. It's been consistent hits behind the line of scrimmage for him. The Bengals O-line has not done their job. That being translated over to Browning's interceptions, to Brown not having a lot of success on the ground so far. Broncos defense is too damn good. They're too good, and they've had two tough losses to the Colts and the Chargers, who are obviously both unbeaten still, and two very strong teams. I like the Broncos here a lot in this game. I think Nix finds a little bit of a groove. I think the Broncos defense kind of gives it to Browning and Brown, and you got Surtain, who can cover Jamar Chase for the most part. They still got T. Higgins. He hasn't been involved a lot so far in this offense this year. This is the full Bengals wake-up call, in my opinion, to go out and get another quarterback while Burrow is injured for multiple months. This is that wake-up call for them. They're going to lose this game. They're going to say, okay, we're 2-2. We're still in win-now mode. We need to make some moves. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move for an O-lineman. I wouldn't be surprised if they also make a move for a quarterback, whether that be Jameis, whether that be Kirk Cousins, somebody. This is that wake-up game for them. Browning's going to have a few turnovers. They're going to lose this game and be thinking, hey, we need to go find a new quarterback to hopefully lead us to not only a playoff run, but more than that. So this is that wake-up call for them. Sean Payton at home should and usually doesn't lose these games. Should win this game. Usually doesn't lose these games. I like the Broncos here big. I don't think this is relatively close. Monday Night Football, primetime at Mile High. I think the Bengals are just kind of all over the place right now, not certain on what's going on the offensive side of the ball. Bo Nix finds a groove here, and I think the Broncos just take care of business. Giving them pretty big. Don't think this game is too close, especially given prime time in Denver. I like the Broncos. Give me the Denver Broncos to move to 2-2 on the season. And that is your Week 4 analysis and predictions. Maybe it's the 16-0 week, ladies and gentlemen. It very much could be. One of those is happening. It's inbound. I had one last year. Maybe it's this week. Maybe so. There's a few games that are kind of toss-ups to me. It's very much a week where it's like kind of toss-up versus very much blowout. Not a lot of in-between that. That's what we got here for Week 4. That is your Week 4 analysis and predictions. And now let's wrap up the show with Swanks Banks. Straight into it. Let's get after it. Season record, we moved to 7-11. Why is my camera shaking over here? If you're watching, my camera's shaking because my desk is slightly moving. But season record, 7-11. Not great, not terrible. We're just a little bit below 500. We're going to pick that back up. Again, we're 2/3, though, on straight-up winners of each game. We went 3-3 last week. My Swank Tank also hit. That moves to 1-2. Thank God we got on the board there. First bet that I love this weekend. Again, I always pick six bets here. We're 7-11. That's going to change. It's going to change. Falcons money line. That is bet number 1. of the weekend for me. I like the Falcons to get the upset against the Commanders in Atlanta. Daniels, he may play, he may not. If he doesn't play, I like this obviously more. If he does play, I still like the upset. Don't think he's going to be fully healthy. Falcons need to bounce back in a big way. They're in a good spot to do it at home. Defense has been playing really well overall all year. Their offense just completely blew it for them last game, given the Panthers' unbelievable field position. Falcons money line as dogs in their own building. I like the Falcons here. Give me the money line. That's my first pick. Number 2, slightly safer play, if you want to call it that. Give me Eagles money line here. I like them a lot at the Bucs. I think this game for a little bit remains competitive. I think the Eagles riding the high of last week, given I think they're more talented and experienced on both sides of the football. Jalen Hurts proving that he can win a game through the air was huge to see last week. Even though the Bucs have owned the Eagles in recent memory, I like the Eagles money line here. That's what I'm taking as my second pick. Third pick, we touched on this a little bit already. Colts, Rams, under 50.5. I don't know what I missed. I don't know why this game is the highest projected scoring game, highest over-under of the whole slate, whole weekend, Thursday night, Monday night included, with 50.5. Given how the Rams defense has been playing, given how the Colts have been playing clean football, I expect a very clean, solid football game here. I don't see any reason why this should be 50.5. Give me the under here. It's not my favorite bet, but it's pretty damn close. It was almost my Swank Tank. I'm very confident in Colts Rams under 50.5. That's my pick number 3. Pick number 4, I'm going Jags plus 3.5. If this was 2.5, I probably wouldn't take it. I do think this game remains competitive. We'll see how Purdy plays, I believe, coming back from that injury. They don't have Bosa, which is a big blow for them. They're still missing a lot of pieces on offense. Kittle is obviously still out. Jawan Jennings has been in and out of the lineup. They have some momentum coming off a big win last week against Houston. Defense has been playing well. I like the Jags to cover plus 3.5 here. That is pick number 4. Pick number 5, and it is my Swank Tank. Usually my Swank Tank is last, but I do have a Monday Night Football bet that I like. My Swank Tank for week 4, Green Bay minus 6.5. To me, it feels so free. You could take Green Bay money line, which is, to me, a surefire win. But I'm gonna get a little courageous here. Get a little bit outside the box. Give me Green Bay minus 6.5 to move my Swank Tank, my favorite bet of each week, to 2-2. Green Bay minus 6.5 for all the reasons I explained about 10 minutes ago. Parsons' return. Cowboys' defense is atrocious and very, very sloppy. No CeeDee Lamb. Give me Green Bay minus 6.5. My favorite bet of the week. Last bet of the week, Broncos money line. I almost like them to cover, but give me the money line. I think mile high, primetime game. Bo Nix finds his groove. Broncos need a bounce back win. I think they very much get that here. So I like the Broncos to win that. That is my 6th pick. Again, my Swank Tank, though, Green Bay minus 6.5. That thing's hitting. And that is going to wrap up this episode of the Swank Tank. If you made it all the way through, I really appreciate you just listening to the whole thing, tuning into the whole thing. Please go and follow me on all the socials at the Swank Tank everywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a review on Spotify. Appreciate all of these recent support, the new followers on social media, the new listeners. Really does mean everything to me. A lot of work goes into the show behind the scenes that maybe is not fully recognized, and it feels great seeing some reward out of it. And that is you guys enjoying this, you guys liking the post and continuing to like the content. So appreciate the ongoing support and the continuing growth of this page. Enjoy your week 4. It's going to be a great one, as it always is. Anytime there's NFL football on, it's always a great weekend. Hopefully these bets are hitting. Hopefully your team gets to win. And I will see you Monday night. Have a great week 4. Have a great weekend. And win some bets this weekend. Why not? Enjoy it.